You've arrived home after a long time spent abroad. Your family is out, and the only thing greeting you is an old empty house and the sound of rain. This might be the perfect time to kick back and relax. Or maybe you'll take a look around and see what people have been up to while you've been gone. Gone Home is a simulation and exploration game where you take the role of a young woman who's come back home after studying abroad. The house is dark and the doors are locked, but chances are if you're any kind of veteran gamer, you'll follow your instincts and start looking around. The controls of Gone Home are bone simple. You move and look around as you would in a first-person shooter, and pointing your cursor at interactable objects will highlight them. Clicking on these objects will allow you to open and close doors and cupboards, or pick them up if they're smaller objects so that you can turn them around and examine them. Now, as far as gameplay goes, that's pretty much it. You wander around and you interact with things. There are no puzzles to solve, there are no obstacles to overcome. The closest thing you get to that is occasionally a door will be locked and you'll need to find a key in one of the other rooms. And at this point you might be asking, well, what exactly do you do in the game? And the answer is simple but duplicitous. You don't really do anything, but you can do whatever you want. Gone Home is at its core an exploration game. Heck, it's actually more of a snooping simulator. It's a game that relies entirely on the natural curiosity of the player, that when presented with a large environment and no clear objectives, they will naturally tend to just wander about and start knocking things over. And Gone Home uses this impetus to tell its story. This is a game that's very deliberately trying to tell you a tale through level design. You are in somebody's house, and the placement of objects, their importance, their existence, or their absence informs you about the people that live there. It's trying to tap into a sort of natural voyeurism, where in context, you the player and you the character have a unique opportunity to peek into the lives of the people that live in this house. You know, who are these people? What are their hopes and their dreams? What are their troubles? What is the history of a place told through the people living there? It's a fascinating setup. And it worked well on me because if I'm like a lot of gamers, if presented with a series of clues, I will try to absently piece them together. Now, while level design is the great strength of Gone Home, it's also its Achilles heel. If you don't look around and look around quite thoroughly, you will miss things. There are a lot of notes and audio diaries and even musical accompaniments that are strategically placed in order to flesh out Gone Home's story. And again, if you're like me, finding these probably won't be too hard. You'll want to explore every nook and cranny already. But the consequence of this is that it means that Gone Home has to be played in a certain way. It has to be appreciated. You can't just rush through and beat it, or it will be devoid of all emotional impact. Still, I find the game a fascinating little experiment in self-motivated exploration. I would give the game 3 out of 4 stars, but would I recommend it? Oh no, not to everybody. No. Gone Home is clearly a niche game designed to speak to certain people. You really have to be within a certain age range to enjoy it. Either young enough that you can relate to growing up in a home and not really knowing who your parents and siblings are anymore, or old enough to look back on those times with a certain emotional clarity and remember what it was like to go through that. If that doesn't sound like something that will resonate with your own experiences, then yeah, this game is probably not for you. Alright, thanks for listening. Is home a person? Is home a place? Is home a feeling? Is home a face? That's the question. That's the time. I'll catch you later. You'll be fine.